Hey, come on, man.
Come on, man. Ease up, will ya? Jeepers, creepers. Guys, I'm in such a great mood today. Such a great mood. We got a huge show coming your way. Tons of listener interaction, which I love. Crazy headlines. I'll tell you what, the sports world, it was fucked this weekend. Fucked in such a funny, bizarre way. Can't wait to dive into that, plus some other crazy headlines, but I got to drop this in for you. I have to. Fuck off, okay? Don't be busting my nuts. This was my Wolfpack team yesterday.
Hey, come on, man.
Yeah. We had to pull them off the opponent in a competitive way, okay? It's not like I'm like, go fight them, guys. Go fight them. No. The boys were firing on all cylinders. It was fantastic. I loved it. Bats were hot, red freaking hot. Fielding was solid. I want to say there was like maybe 1 or 2 errors the entire game for our boys. I mean, it was great. It was really good. And it sucks because we know what it's like to be on the other side of that. Only a few weeks ago, we're getting our ass handed to us. So we understand. It got to the point where if you've ever played Little League or your kids have, and you notice if a dugout goes silent, it's usually because one of 2 things. One, that team's getting their ass handed to them and their energy is just shot. Or they're winning really largely and the coaches have told them, let's be respectful. Let's not try to rub this in their faces. Because you get to a point in the game where everything's just rolling your way. And it's like, okay, let's ease up. No more stealing, no more chants in the dugout. I mean, we don't do chants against the other team. It's chants of support for our team. But so we had to do that. There was 2 innings where it was called on runs because we had scored so many times. And again, it was just a day where everything clicked. Everybody was in a good mood. Everybody was just, they were there. They were present. Part of my job on yesterday, was to keep the boys focused in the dugout. I had Coach Carl, Coach Chris, Coach Mark. They were alternating between first and third. It was great. So I got to be the dugout mother. That's what I was. And it's everybody focus, everybody on the fence. Let's watch every single pitch, every single play. Let's support our team. Lock in. And at the beginning of the season, that was very difficult to do. But these guys were committed to the game yesterday, top to bottom. I had parents coming up to me or coming up to the dugout, and I'm like, shh, go away, please. I did it respectfully. I was like, I don't mean to be mean, but I need your kid to be focused on the game. That's what I need right now. And it pissed off some parents, and I apologize, but guess what happened? I got your kid to focus on the game. They were part of a team for 2 hours. They were just a solid wolf pack. They had each other's back. They were focused on the game. They were having fun. They were. Although there's one time, it still haunts me. One of the grandmas, which I know, strong Italian woman. Okay. She comes over and she starts, talking to her grandson. And I was like, and I hold up my finger towards her face. Not like within inches. It was like, 5 feet. I was like, no offense. I need him to focus. Can you please leave? And she just, and I swear to God, there's probably a hit on me right now. I don't know. Listen, it's a stereotype. I assume that it's true. It's true. Either that or she's going to come over to me and like, oh, honey, I love you. Look at him. He did so well. Oh, here's some pasta. I don't know. Again, just piling on the stereotype. Okay. I was just like, oh shit, I just did that. Maybe next time, don't hold up the finger, DeHuff. I was just like, oh, hey, DeHuff, did I hear that right? Did you just finger somebody's grandma? Oh my God, Connery, no, you're making it worse. No, I did it. Okay, well, not today, but no. Anyway. Oh, it was so fun. It was so fun. And listen, for 2 hours, there are responsibility. There are our boys to sit there and teach them the right way to be competitors, the right way to play baseball, and the right way to be teammates. It's fun. It's so much freaking fun. I know we're gonna get to the headlines. Oh my God, calm down. And really cool moment before the game during warmups. There's one of the kids, and I kept telling him, I was like, I'm looking at him, and I'm actually warming him up because he kind of showed up a little bit late, and I'm warming him up. I'm throwing balls to him. He's throwing back to me, and I'm like, dude, I have a feeling about you today. You're gonna have a great game. And he's like, oh. I was like, no, I'm not joking. There's something in the air. You're gonna have a great game today. Oh, I hope so. But he said it in a little timid voice. I was like, no hope. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have a great game today. It's there. And sure enough, he played solid. He's one of the kids that was kind of struggling to get a hit, and he got a solid hit. Now, I think technically on the stats, it goes down as an error but he would have gotten on first base anyway. But just the way the stats work, I believe, is what happened. But either way, I gave him a game ball at the end of the game. We're meeting. I'm doing the post game with the boys, and I don't say his name at first. And I said, I told this boy at the beginning of warmups that he was going to have a great game. And I just look over at him, and he is smiling ear to ear as big as he can be. And I was like, and sure enough, he went out there, played solid defense. He was well aware of what was going on, and he went out there and got a solid hit. And then, boom, give him the ball. And it was just like, it made his day. It made my day. But then also I had to give my son, and I hate doing this, but I gave my son a game ball too. I know it's like favoritism. But back the fuck off, okay? Back off, okay? Back off, okay? I got a bat in my hand. I'm, keeping you at distance. Back off. I'll use it. I swear to God, I will. Okay? He had a home run, a triple, and it walked once or twice. Had some solid plays, except for once at first base. Okay? Which somebody brought up in the post game when I gave him. It might have been a parent. They're like, "Well, he did miss that one play at first." I'm like, fuck you. It was either that or one of the kids. I don't know. It got back to me. I was like, that's messed up. Who gives a shit? Every kid has a moment, especially in this time frame. But anyway, he had a home run, which freaking just jacked everybody up. And they're like, because it was his first at bat inside the park home run. He booked it. He was smoke around those bases. Then he next up at bat, he had a triple. Could have been an inside park home run, but I'm just saying. Hey, Coach Carl, if you're listening, earmuffs. Hey, JD, I believed in you. Okay, I'm just saying. He leaned on the side of caution, like, yeah, probably not the smartest idea to send you home in this moment, but it was cool. It was really neat. And to end the game, my son he's been playing first base. He's been solid at first base. Like I said, he did have one mistake, but that happens, and he learned from it. To end the game, he had this solid, Todd Helton would have been proud of him, reach out extension to get the out. May have popped a nut. I don't know. Because in my mind, in the replay, in my mind, it's like he may have done the splits. I don't know. I don't think it's possible for him, but maybe he did. It was great. So I gave him a game ball. in all honesty, guys, before we jump in the headline, every single one of those boys should be damn proud. And I will tell you this real quick. If you ever get the opportunity to coach youth sports, do it. Do it. I didn't think I would be this guy that is sitting there, go out there and coach. If you can do it, if you got the time, do it. Do it. It's fun, especially if your kids are involved and you can help them grow and help them become a better teammate, a better human being, and it's going to help them in the long run. Okay, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Get the fuck off my back, okay? You probably fast forward through that and you're like, I don't like children because I'm a horrible person. I'm the Mark Sanchez of this world. Allegedly. Well, we'll get into that story a little bit later. But you know what we need to do right now, guys? Let's do it. Let's jump into headlines.
Let's go! Let's go! And now, here are the headlines.
Well, we missed this, guys. We could have been doing this over the weekend. We missed the International Taco Bell 50K ultramarathon. Yeah, I know. Sounds fucking terrifying. I don't know if I could do a 50K, but it'd be worth trying, I guess. If you know somebody that did this, you got to let us know because I'll go through the details. But this sounds fascinating and terrifying, all wrapped up in one. It's a Denver-based race, which is not endorsed by or affiliated with Taco Bell corporate, but it's a 31-mile course, and what you have to do is eat at 9 out of the 10 Taco Bells along the way during the race. Oh my God, it's terrifying. No, 31 miles. That's an ultra marathon. That's more than a normal marathon, which is what, 26.2. Runners must order a real food item. Drinks don't count. You have to consume a Chalupa Supreme or Crunchwrap Supreme by stop number 4. By the 8th stop, you got to had to have ordered a Burrito Supreme or Nachos Bel Grande. You're required to do all of this within 11 hours. I don't know. I'm part of me is just like, that's fun. Then I realize it's 31 miles and you got to do it in 11 hours. And fuck, I can do that in my car. I'll do that. Hell yeah. And I'll be like, in between stops, I'll just be like sleeping in my car or just groaning. Oh, why did I do that? The Nacho Bel Grande was too much. You know what? They could have had this as a commercial for, or a sponsorship for this race.
Do you smell something? If so, it might be time for Craps Be Gone. If you're laying down some stank whether you want to or not, the best choice is Craps Be Gone. Bubble guts killing the moment when you're trying to introduce Mr. Happy to your new girlfriend? There's only one solution, that's Craps Be Gone. Mud butt making your job interview a little too intense? The relief is Craps Be Gone, because without it, you may shart your pants.
Dude, I made that back in the day when I worked with Hastings and Alfred. That's how old that commercial is. Craps Be Gone. I just shit my pants on the way to Taco Bell. In between Taco Bells, I pooed. That's a lot. That's a lot going on in your body. But you're burning it off, all those calories. So I guess in a weird way, it's good. But I'd be afraid because you see those people that run regular marathons that end up shitting themselves. Now you're introducing Taco Bell and you got to go to 9 out of 10 of them. That's just, that is a recipe for disaster. The only way I would do it is if they were able to do like a team one where it's like I do like a couple miles, you do a couple miles, etc. That would be fine. That one I could possibly do. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go run and eat and then go run again. That, especially bean burritos and stuff like that. Daddy, why'd you poop your pants? I don't want to talk about it. I gotta go take a shower. Speaking of crap, if you plan to visit San Francisco, Betty, be ready to deal with a dog problem. Well, kind of a dog shit problem. Allegedly, a lot of people are taking their dogs into grocery stores, restaurants, etc., department stores, and letting their dogs shit everywhere. Not everybody. One, it's people taking their dogs everywhere, which is a health code violation in most places, especially when it comes to restaurants. That shouldn't be allowed unless they're a service dog. But apparently, a lot of these asshole people that are bringing in their pets to these places, they're just letting their dog shit and not picking it up. Not picking it up. Now, who knows how much this is being exaggerated, but I like to think that it's 100% fact. I'm sorry. I went to, I think it was Smashburger like a year ago, and some snotty rich lady, I don't know why she was at a Smashburger, but she seemed uppity, comes in there with her little annoying poodle, and she's like, "Come on, princess, let's go in there." I don't know if that's the name of the dog, but she goes in there and she's like, "I want this, this, this," and the dog's just kind of wandering around. Like, that's disgusting. One, if it goes in the back, there's a chance they could make it into burgers. Well, wait a minute. No, just kidding. That's I don't like that. The dog hair, especially like if it's a fluffy dog, that hair is going to be flying around. It's just gross. I don't mind little dogs, but dogs don't have a place in the restaurant unless it's a service dog. Then I can look the other way. That's fine, because those dogs are well behaved, and they're not going to shit on the floor. Okay, they're not. Speaking of shit, yeah, that's my segue to this one as well. Mark Sanchez got stabbed last. I didn't say Dirty Sanchez. I said Mark Sanchez. Jesus Christ. What the fuck, guys? Mark Sanchez got stabbed the night before calling the game in Indianapolis. If you don't know who Mark Sanchez is, he's a former NFL quarterback, including the Denver Broncos. He does the color commentary, or did, for Fox Sports. He was about to call the game for the Colts, whoever the hell they played. And apparently he got stabbed. But as the details roll out, sounds like he was not the victim. It was a delivery driver. When the story first broke, oh my God, Mark Sanchez got stabbed overnight. Fucking, what is this country coming to? There's about to be some memorials, and I don't know. They're going to put him up on a pedestal, be like, fucking Mark Sanchez, one of the greatest human beings ever, blah, 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 blah. Then slowly, as the news came out, you could see a lot of the people that were praising Mark Sanchez were deleting their tweets, their Facebook posts, etc., because apparently former NFL quarterback and current Fox Sports, this is according to Adam Adam Schefter, Jesus. Mark Sanchez, who was arrested while recovering in the hospital with a stab wound to the chest, was arrested for multiple misdemeanors following a physical altercation this weekend. He's now facing felony charges of battery involving serious bodily injury. That's according to prosecutors. The more serious charge was added after investigators learned of the severity of the victim's injuries. The truck driver, not Mark Sanchez. So it sounds like this truck driver, it was like 2 a.m. He's in an alley making a delivery of some oil or something like that for some restaurants. And according to the reports, Sanchez was intoxicated, starts having words with the dude, tries to get into the guy's vehicle. I believe the guy had pepper spray, sprayed it, didn't work, and is fighting him off. And I don't know the full details because the family is being hush-hush because they got a big fucking lawsuit on their hands right now that they're going to be laying out there. And it gets to the point where the guy is defending himself, grabs a knife that he must have in his truck, and stabbed him in the chest. What the fuck? What the fuck? Here, just another reason. Booze is a problem, guys. A lot of these guys, I'm sure there's a lot of people throwing it around right now. CTE, probably, maybe, who knows? I don't have many interactions with Mark Sanchez from my days working at the radio station, but I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm not going to throw that out there and say that's the reason for this. But it does sound like the guy, when he was in very close range from Sanchez, that he could smell alcohol on him, a very big smell of it. So we'll see what happens with him. There's a really good chance if they're throwing felony charges, one, he'll probably go to jail or prison. I don't know all the rules on that shit. He's definitely losing his job, right? If I'm Fox, I'm like, yeah. I guess Fox called, I think it was Brady Quinn. I want to say Brady Quinn stepped in, something like that. Brady Quinn, they're interchangeable. They're interchangeable guys. But that's fucking wild. That's a classic. Let's not jump to conclusions yet. Because at first it was an alleged Uber driver. Then it becomes a truck driver. And I don't know all the details. I'm sure by midweek we're going to have more details, and they're going to be slightly altered from what we originally thought. Either way, he did some bad shit. Bad shit. And he just fucked his career. Fucked it. Now, that being said, he's got a buttload of money, as long as he hasn't been wasting it on God knows what. But shit, man. Yeah. I'll tell you this. Good advice that I received from Alfred Williams back in the day, name drop, is don't let yourself get bored. It sounds like Sanchez has been letting himself get bored and getting hammered, doing other things. I don't know if he was or not, or if he ever has. But the thing is, when you get bored, you do dumb things. He did a very dumb thing over the weekend. So hopefully the victim is well. That's what people need to be focusing on, as you know, in this situation. Obviously, Sanchez is going to draw a lot of the attention, but don't forget that there was a victim. Some 60-some-year-old guy doing his job, and then a drunk former professional football player starts attacking him. And good for the dude for defending himself. The Denver Broncos beat the Eagles, just like I said. I said that. Guys, I said that. I did. It was a close game. Exactly like I said it was going to. By the way, I got to say this. After the Broncos won, I'm like, oh, shit, I should find the audio or the video of when I said that they were going to win. Then I'm go to grab the audio, and I'm like, fuck. That's the episode where I took my shirt off. Of course, it had to be. So yeah, that's up there. That's on the internet now, and it's fine, I guess. But the Broncos, they did exactly what we thought that they would do. If you took a step back, you could see the Eagles were struggling. The Eagles' offense was not going into the game, wasn't as good as it should be. Okay. Yes, they're defending champions, but they did not look good at all. There were some questionable calls. Yes, there was. Especially the one to Dotson. A lot of people were freaking out about that. I posted that on my Facebook page. Go look at it. The more you look at it, the more you realize, yeah, it's not a catch. It's not some bullshit favoritism towards the Broncos. If you're a Philly fan, that's just the way you're going to look at it. I get it. But you're looking at it on bird shit stained glasses, okay? That's the way you're looking at that. You're refusing to see what's in front of you. He bobbled the ball. when his right foot was down. And then when he goes to adjust and he finally gets a little bit more control over it, he only has one foot on the ground, and then that other foot goes down out of bounds. You'll see what I'm talking about. I posted it on the Facebook page. But there is also, now I will agree with this, there was a call on Skinner there was a no call on Skinner in the last, minute of the game. Skinner, a defensive back for the Denver Broncos, he was all over, I can't remember who it was, and he had just got called for pass interference. And they could have easily called him again. Skinner, pull your head out of your ass. You can't be playing like that, especially the last, critical moments of a game. But here's what the ref said. Adrian Hill, on the no-call pass interference, our officials saw mutual hand fighting and hand-to-hand combat and did not see action that rose to the level of foul on that play. This goes down to when we always say, if it goes against your team, you're like, just let them play it out. Let them play it. They're both being, dicks in this moment. They're both committing penalties. That's exactly what we always want them to do. Swallow the whistle at the end of the game. And if they're both going at each other, then it's just let them go. So I respect that. I do. So, yeah. And let's be honest. If you guys wanted to win the game so badly, maybe play a little better. The Broncos were down and fought their way back, and they win the game. They had a big balls moment. Sean Payton going for 2. I see these dickheads on ESPN saying, oh, I wouldn't have done that. That was a bad call by Sean Payton. Are you fucking stupid? Are you kidding me? They converted. That's what I want to see from a coach. Believing in his team and putting him in a position to not just let's tie the game. No, we want to win the game. Play to win. Fuck you. I'm glad Sean Payton's the Denver Broncos head coach. Jesus Christ. Cowboy, give us your take on this and who's going to receive the Big Balls Award for the Broncos over the Eagles. All right, Scotty, basically we can look at it several different ways. The Denver Broncos defense had 6 sacks, 2.5 by Nick Bonito. I call him the Big Burrito Nito, okay? He did fantastic. The offense only gave up 2 sacks. That's good. You got to keep Bosif Tiberius Nicks clean in the pocket. I like it. Cortland Sutton, big old cojones, 8 receptions, 99 yards. You mentioned Sean Payton going for 2 and converting. Big balls right there. He's going to lead things off with my Big Balls Award. Again, Sean Payton for going for 2. Nick Bonito, Big Burrito, gets 1 for his 2.5 sacks. Cortland Sutton, 99 yards. And Bosif Tiberius Nicks, he looked fantastic in the fourth quarter. He was 9 of 10. He had 127 yards and 3 for 3 on scoring drives. That's all in the fourth quarter. Big balls. I love it. Way to go, Broncos. Yeah, thanks, Cowboy. Now they're on to London to take on the winless Jets. Jets, by the way, are the first team in history to start 0-5 with 0 takeaways. This is a game that I expect the Denver Broncos, considering how sad and pathetic the Jets are, they better go in there and just roll them over, okay? That's what I expect. I do not want to see this being a close game. We'll get into that later in the week. Amar is continuing with sports. Emari Demercado. I don't know how you pronounce his Demercado. I don't know how to say his name. He's a running back for the Cardinals. He busted a 76-yard run. Goes to cross the end zone. Drops the ball just before the goal line. Cardinals lose possession. Cardinals end up losing to the Titans by 1 fucking point. Oh, my God. Why? This at that level, that should never fucking happen. Never. If you're a coach in the professional ranks and your running back or receiver or whoever does that, they drop the ball just before the goal line, and the other team recovers. How do you not hit that player? I'm sorry. They should know fucking better. They should. That's an embarrassment. Let go of the ball at the end of the end zone. That's them not being an intelligent football player. They have low football IQ, great ability, just stupid as shit. And it sucks because obviously the guy's good to bust out a 76-yard run and to be playing on an NFL franchise. But I'd cut his ass. Send a fucking message. Hold on to the ball till you know it's a fucking touchdown. My God. Oh, my God. What do you do in that situation? You're the coach. He comes over and is like, sorry, coach, I fucked up. What are you going to do? What is everybody around you going to be chanting?
Grab his dick and twist it!
Yeah, it's going to be hard not to. It's going to be hard not to. The thing that drives me nuts in baseball with these kids, and it's like from the beginning of the season till now, it's still run through the bag. Please, at first, for the love of God, in practice, I set up a cone of where I want them to start to slow down. Unless the first base coach is going, go to, or whatever the hell they say, okay? The amount of times that they just run and then they stop on first. And a lot of times they get thrown out. It's like, don't do that. God, my God. It's kind of the same thing, but it's a lot more at stake in the NFL. It's not like touchdowns are easy to get. Oh, my God. I'd be furious. Could you imagine? They lost the game by a point. And the head coach, whoever the head coach is for the Cardinals, comes out. It's like, it's not just one play, blah, 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 blah. Well, it did come down to one play. He scores a fucking touchdown. Guess what? I know math. My math is working. Your math ain't working. My math says that he scores that touchdown. You guys end up winning the game. You know that guy is probably sitting there and be like, I don't see what the big deal is. You dropped the ball.
I didn't do fucking shit.
Well, I agree to disagree. Agree to disagree. You guys lost to the Titans. That's terrible. Run to the back of the end zone. My God, this shouldn't be a thing now, especially at that level. That's like high school shit. High school. And maybe that goes on high school coaches. Start training them now, because if for some reason they make it to the NFL, they're lucky enough, they're going to have that ingrained in their brain to hand the football over to the ref or spike it or whatever in the back of the end zone. It's fucking mind-numbing. You got to I'd lose my fucking mind. I'd lose my mind. Cut the guy. Jesus. By the way, the Raiders got shredded by the Colts. Holy shit, 40-6. Geno Smith is trash. Holy poop on a stick, guys. 9 interceptions in 5 games. I don't know if you know this, but that's not what we would call good. Maybe this is going out there. I know Damian Lillard proposed this idea, and I'm going to run with it too. Maybe the Raiders need to consider trading for Shedeur Sanders. At least it's going to be a young guy going in there that you can mold and develop into what you want. I doubt they'll do that. Really do. But Geno Smith is not the answer for Las Vegas. You know what, though? As a Denver Broncos fan, yeah, just keep going with Geno. I'm fine with that. Fine with it. Ugh, terrible. I hate that, though. I know a lot of people that are I know a lot of people that are Raiders fans, and they're just, I feel bad for you. I feel bad. What will make us feel good is jumping in the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
A lot of these are going to be a reaction to last week's shows. We're going to start off on Spotify with Team Pato. He said, in regards to the raccoons episode, he said, I have problems in the neighborhood. Trap, peanut butter, and a pellet gun. He says it's legal per CPW. Is that Colorado Parks and Wildlife? Under the damage rules. I might have to look that up. Just saying. And he adds on, I wish I was in the country and could use a shotgun. Team Pato, yes, I like it. Those fucking raccoons be running. Oh, shit, he's got it. He's got the shotgun. Fuck. Yeah, there was somebody else on Twitter just sent me a picture of their backyard. I'm like, oh, this is weird. And I zoom in and I'm like, oh, is that a raccoon trap? He's all, it's a raccoon / squirrel trap. Yep. Oh, boy. I like it. I like it. Squirrels are just as evil. Just as evil. The evil lover of the squirrels is the raccoon. I don't know if you know that. It's facts. Look it up. Dino Lover on Spotify said, I'm listening to this with a shirt on, but no pants. Oh, my God. We compliment each other. Look at us. I wore a shirt. My wife, I post the video, and I also, what I like to do is I share the thumbnail with listen here type of thing. And I posted that on Instagram, the Instagram stories. And she just responds to me because she was out of town last week at that point. She's all, where the hell's your shirt? I didn't respond. I didn't respond for like a day until I saw her face to face. She's all, why were you naked? I said, why didn't you listen to the show? Then you would have known. Jesus Christ. God, what the hell? Who are you? Who are you? Carl wrote on Spotify, I like the idea of just showing up to the Rockies and telling them that you're the new GM. Carl, you and I could do that, okay? We'll go in there. We'll be like, what is that, Step Brothers?
We're here to fuck shit up.
Yeah, we're here to fuck shit up big time. I'll have a briefcase when it'll just be full of snacks and like Capri Suns and whatever. That'll be fine. It'll fit in with baseball, okay? Where's the snacks? I got them. Don't worry. It's in my briefcase. Like we could do any worse? Probably. But that's not the point. It would be fun. And think of the fat paychecks we'd get, okay? Like I said before, all we got to do, Carl, and everybody else listening, is if for some reason we're the new GMs, get vending machines behind the scenes so people are generating more money. We're getting our employees now to spend money here. We own all the vending machines, okay? That's money in our pocket. We get a weed section, okay? Brought to you by Miscellaneous Dispensary, okay? And then you set up like very, just hot dogs, nachos, those type of foods around there. No beer vendors in that area. It's just weed, okay? And you don't want to mix the two. And, you do that. That's more money. Guys, that's what we'd have to do. Oh, fuck the team, okay? It's all about making money. Smoke section would be great. Carl also added, how about, this is in regards to the halftime show and people being pissed off about Bad Bunny. Said, how about no more music shows? The sound always sucks and it's never memorable. That's debatable. Some people love it, but I see where you're going. I'd like to see an old timers game at the Super Bowl halftime show. Maybe do a flag football game. Put all-time greats against each other for 20 minutes, sort of like old days of having Pee Wee football playing at halftime games. I'd really be fine with more funny commercials for 10 minutes and then show halftime highlights and then get back to the actual game. I kind of agree with you. The music thing is just too much. And I know that the artist pays to be there, but they make a buttload of money, the NFL does, promoting and getting endorsements for the halftime show. But I agree. I would rather have a fucking magic show at halftime Super Bowl, right? Now we got Dan the Magic Man at center field, or at midfield. Center field, the wrong sport. At midfield, it's Dan the Magic Man. And he's like, ooh. Ooh. And he's like doing that thing where those things are coming out of his mouth, those tissues, like, ah. Hey, speaking of shoving a bunch of stuff down somebody's throat, Connery, no. What? I'm just saying I banged your mother last night. Okay, fuck you. Jesus. You always have to do that, don't you? I do. I think they've made the halftime show, it has to be music. And here's what's funny. While you're right, Carl, and while if they really did put some actual thought into the halftime show instead of like essentially like, let's just play some music and we'll get back to it. Okay. It's kind of a lazy way to do it. Look at the intermission, the in-between periods, things that they do at, say, the Nuggets game or any basketball game. You know, you got people balancing weird shit, stupid human tricks. Remember that with David Letterman? I would be fine with that. I just get tired of the music because most likely I'm not going to like it. Most likely it's only going to cater to a small percentage of the people watching the game. Now, part of it is like when they get the younger bands or younger groups like Bad Bunny, you're trying to build up your upcoming audience. They're trying to get their new fans invested, the fringe fans. So that's what they're doing. So I'd be fine with something else. You know, go down to Tijuana, get that lady that does the trick with the ping pong balls. Well, I'd rather that. I'd rather that. Come on. You telling me people wouldn't tune in for that? I beg to differ. I call bullshit. Because I'd tell you what, those ratings would skyrocket. People would be tuning in just for that. They're like, oh shit, she did like 10 in a row. That's fantastic. Holy cow. There's some music is, I love music. I do. But it's just too controversial, oddly enough. And I think it has more of a negative thing. I walk away for the halftime show the majority of the time. I don't remember the last time I enjoyed a halftime show. Probably Janet Jackson, let's be honest. When those titties be flying out, Daddy was happy. Yeah. Oh, that's when I learned what a nipple tassel was. Had no idea until then. No idea. Oh, hello, Miss Jackson. On Twitter, JR Slick said, CU is being coached by people who can recruit but can't coach worth a shit. I agree. Here's the thing. Pat Shurmur, he is the offensive coordinator for the CU Buffs, former coordinator in the NFL, one of which, well, he was coordinator for Shedeur Sanders at CU. He was also coordinator for Peyton Manning. Here's what I'm going to say about Pat Shurmur. He is a product of the quarterback. He is not a good offensive coordinator. You have a good quarterback, he's going to make Shurmur look good. But when he has an average quarterback, he doesn't know what to do. There's a thing about, like, you got to coach to what you have. Okay? You don't have, you don't have guys that are worthy of getting their jerseys retired. You don't, Pat. You don't. So you got to adjust how you call the game. But he's not. It's just, It's just embarrassing. He's not good. I think Deion is dealing with a lot of shit off the field with his health. He's probably also missing his kids. I mean, it's just, I don't see Deion making it to next season. I don't. I hate to say that, but with his health problems and the way he looks at life, I'm putting words in his mouth, but I would say that he would walk away for the betterment of his life and the idea of focusing on his family. I'm putting words in his mouth on that, but I could see that happening, and I wouldn't fault him for that one bit. Life's short, man. Do you want to be coaching a shitty team and grinding through and feeling like garbage and being separated from your family, all your loved ones? Or would you rather go through life just embracing the love of your family? I'm fine. I'm fine with Deion Sanders walking away after this season from the CU Buffs. I don't like the idea of it, but if he's having health issues and the talent's just not walking through the door that is going to help lead them to success, that's going to be adding more stress to his plate. He doesn't need that. Sometimes you got to think about yourself. And that's where I say, Deion, if you walk away, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. I don't like it for the University of Colorado. It sucks because they're gonna hit a massive reset button. But your health's more important. Your family's more important. Do that if you need to. Not like Deion is listening to me and going, oh, DeHuff said it. DeHuff gave me the green light. And finally, Steven said, hey, whose mother does Connery have to bang for you to cover the Broncos in London? That's a good question. I'm willing to bang anybody's mother, so please let me know. DeHuffpodcast@gmail.com. Connery, Jesus Christ. You a little horny or what? What? I'm just saying I'm willing and able. It would be weird. I don't think one, I don't have my passport. Two, that's a long time to be away from my family. I joke about that. Everybody's like, oh, it'd be great, away from here's what sucks from my perspective. When I cover Super Bowls, it's fun if I'm there with people like when I was covering Super Bowls for The Fan and I was with people like, say, Mark Schlereth and Mike Evans. We would always do something. It ended up being Mike Evans and I most of the time just doing stuff and having a good time doing videos and whatever. It's fun. But when you don't have anybody like that is dedicated to you and you're dedicated to them, it's difficult. It's very difficult to go out there and go, ugh, I'm just doing shit on my own. And that's not the way I work. I like to feed off of people, which is ironic considering I do the show here, but I don't know. It's so, and then being around a bunch of Denver media guys, I like a lot of them. I like people like Cody Rourke of Mile High Sports. I like the guys over at The Fan. I want to say everybody. I don't know who's on their station anymore, really. But, and then I like a lot of the guys over at Altitude. And, of course, KOA. I have a lot of friends over there. But there's a lot of others, the fringe guys, that just drive me fucking batshit crazy. The ones that are I'm going to get myself in trouble. The people that are trying to deep throat just to stay relevant. I don't like that. And those people rub me the wrong way. And I get irritated very easily with stuff like that. And I don't want to be in that situation. It bugs the snot out of me. Next thing you know, it's an international incident. DeHuff beat the shit out of some random internet show guy. I don't know. Well, wait, not my guy Alex, but this is a good soundbite. I do love this soundbite.
Coach, it was reported that your quarterback Bo Nix was hanging out with your own quarterback.
It wasn't reported. I stated it 3 days ago. Gosh, your own little internet shows are driving me crazy. Listen, Bo Nix, if you were here 2 days ago, you would have heard me say he spent some time with Breeze. So it was reported. Keep going.
How's that improved? It makes it different?
No, just what I said 3 days ago.
Oh, he's so busy. That's me, though. Not with Alex of the final word, but with other people. It's just like, fuck, man. I don't know. I don't fit in that group that much. There's a niche of people that I do, but there's another niche where it's just like, ugh, better keep me away from them because I don't respect them. Okay? I'm a dick, okay? I'm a dick. Like Brandon Perna is a good dude. He's funny, very creative. I could see somebody like him and I doing stuff. I need to get a hold of him one day and have him on the show or whatever, or just do like a funny video with him one of these days. The problem is my schedule's weird, and I'm sure his schedule's weird. I believe he's an exotic dancer on the side. I don't know if that's true. I just made that up, but I could see it. He's skinny. He's got a beard. There's a certain demographic for that. I'm sure there is. I get upset when I jokingly say to new people that I meet, they're like, so what do you do, Scott? And I'm like, well, I'm actually an exotic dancer, and I sell it. I fucking sell it. Audibly, people are like, that's a fact that just came out of his mouth. But then you get that judgment look up and down, and they're like, ugh. I'm like, I'm joking. Good. Fuck you then, bitch. Jesus. Like you wouldn't pay for this shit. Huh? You want my body? Yeah. You know what you'd have?
Big boner. Pretty big boner.
Yeah. You'd have a big lady boner. That's what would happen. You're welcome. Scoff at me. Dick. I go from talking about Brandon Perna to me being a sad stripper to a lady getting a reluctant lady boner. Yeah. That's the show in a nutshell, folks. It is. Steven, thank you so much for sending that in. Yeah, I don't see me going to London anytime soon. I don't. I'd get bored really quick. Is basically putting a bow on that, Steven. I'd get bored, miss my family, and wouldn't want to. I'd just be like, I'll just stay in my hotel. That's what would end up happening. So thanks, Steven. Thanks, JR. Thanks, Carl. Thanks, Dino Lover. Thanks, Team Pato. I thought there was somebody else, but thanks, Cowboy. Thanks, Connery. Watch out for Mark Sanchez. He should be on a list. Well, he is on a list now, I guess. So be careful of that, guys. If you see a former quarterback in a dark alley, run, okay? Especially if his name's Mark Sanchez, because allegedly he may hurt you. He may hurt you. If you're in San Francisco, don't let your dogs into a restaurant because they're probably going to shit on the floor and nobody likes you, okay? If you're going to sign up for an ultra marathon that involves eating Taco Bell, 9 out of 10 restaurants, you're probably a psycho, okay? You probably are. You're a glutton for punishment. That's what it is. Anyway, guys, you're amazing. Have a wonderful day. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.